Purple Daily is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
Okay, time for us to make our official picks, or maybe Judd will tell us his pick in like 2 minutes, and then Dex can withhold our picks to the end of the episode like last week. That could be a new thing. Maybe Judd gives his pick right away.
You never know what I'm going to do.
Declan gives his 10 minutes in, and then you got to wait till your mind.
I saw a week ago, as soon as I picked, everyone stopped the show, and that was it. And no one waited for your guys' pick.
And the market shifted. I saw the market shifted.
Nobody waited for your guys' show. Like, everyone just was like, okay, that's it. That's all. I did not realize Sportsnet had such a big impression, such a big footprint on the pick segment.
Yeah. Well, you do. You're one of the main people on the show, right? There's only 3 of us.
Yeah, but only one of us used to be the lead beat writer for the Star Tribune on the Vikings.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lead.
Why don't you talk about the lead convenience store and gas station of Purple Daily here before we get into some of this stuff?
You know, we talk about versatility in sports. Let me tell you about versatility when it comes to convenience stores, because Quick Trip is all about versatility. Because yes, they're a convenience store. Yes, they've got your snacks, your pops, your treats, but they also have, if you are watching this right now, as you can see, they also have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's the delicious Karuba coffee. We're gonna swing around the corner here on our trip through Quick Trip, and you're gonna see the pizzas, and you're saying, Sports Dad, what don't they have? And I'm gonna tell you, they have everything and more, because outside, gasoline, fill the car up, and if you put the app on your phone, you don't even have to go inside. Talk about versatility. You talk about convenience. You talk about the official convenience store / grocery store of this show, Purple Daily. It is our friends at Quick Trip.
Yeah. So I'm on the Prize Picks app here, and I see Sam Darnold 242.5 passing yards. It's a tough number, because I almost feel like the Vikings might jump out early, maybe get the run game going a little bit. So I'm going to have to make a decision on that one. But yeah, the Prize Picks app is just an absolute blast, and it makes watching football more fun. And you can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You select between 2 and 6 players. You pick more or less on their projected stats, and you place your entry. It's that easy. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code Purple Daily to get $50 instantly when you play just $5. That's Purple Daily on the Prize Picks app, and you get $50 instantly when you play just $5. So, okay, boys, Vikings, Cardinals. What is the thing you are most confident in on behalf of the Vikings?
Mine is that we are going to get a statistical rebound game from Justin Jefferson, who had 1 catch for 7 yards in regulation time of the Chicago game, ended up with 2 for 27, because he also had a big overtime catch for 20 yards that helped set up the Parker Romo winning field goal. But I think Justin Jefferson is going to be the target of more passes. I think he's going to catch more. I think Kevin O'Connell appreciated, as we all did, what Jefferson did on Sunday. Served as a decoy in some ways, but largely just pulled the Bears' coverage towards him to open up other guys who had great days. But I also think that there was a recognition from O'Connell that he wants to do a better job of finding ways to get the ball into Justin's hands. The Cardinals, just as a point of reference here, are 23rd in the league in EPA pass. So it's very doable here. I think you're going to see Justin Jefferson, as I predicted back on Wednesday, and write that down. I'm predicting about 5 catches for more than 100 yards. I think this is a Justin Jefferson statistical rebound game, because he actually had a very impactful game last week against the Bears.
It's kind of, last week was kind of great for this team and this offense, because it showed you that if Jefferson is either off or being completely taken out of a game, that the opposing team is also still screwed.
Yes.
Because the fact that they still put up against a good pass defense, 450 total yards and 7 yards of play.
Yep.
And the Bears went into the film room all week and said, let's just take this dude out of the game. They're not gonna be. They can't do anything else. That offensive line, and Jordan Addison hasn't done anything all year. Let's just put 2 or 3 dudes in the region of Justin Jefferson, and that will be our defensive strategy. And the Vikings put up maybe their most impressive overall offensive performance of the entire season. So good luck.
And the problem with what the Bears did was they were way too late to the party, because it's what Jacksonville did. And Jacksonville, that was a 12-7 win because the Vikings had trouble adjusting, right?
Yeah.
But this was the third game since then. So they're like, okay, no problem. We adjusted 2 weeks ago. So if the Cardinals say, oh, the Bears had a great idea. Yeah, they lost, but okay, go for it. But like Jacksonville, I think Jacksonville actually statistically played way more man and didn't play the deep shell until the Jefferson game. But once you have a team do that to him, you've tipped your hand.
Yeah.
So if the Cardinals are like, we're going to do what the Bears did, okay, go for it. But somebody else or two guys are going to have huge days. So you're sort of screwed, to your point.
All right, Dex, what are you most confident in?
I'm confident that the Vikings are back home after this road trip they went where they swept. They haven't been home in a month. Now they're home for a while. I think being back home, sleeping in your own bed, not having to travel for basically the next 3 weeks here is huge. You get to be well rested, get to be going into your own facilities and whatnot. So I think that's huge for the Vikings. That's the thing I'm most confident that the Vikings fans will show up here. This team has exceeded expectations. You're going to have some people that are nice and full from a great Thanksgiving weekend where they had plenty of helpings of coleslaw. Very excited for the home base that the Vikings get to have their home cooking here for the next few weeks.
What a callback.
So much coleslaw. Yeah, because they had one of their home games, right, flipped to London.
Yeah.
This is only the only the fifth true home game they've played, and it'll be December 1st. They've only played, 4 true home games in September, October, November, which is kind of crazy. And then you get 3 straight here. I think the thing that I'm most confident in is it's more broad in that the Cardinals are not great at anything. They're not bad, but I think Kyler Murray's a really good quarterback. I don't think he's an unstoppable superhero like Marvel character. Although I do have a thing on him to maybe play both sides of the fence on thing I'm least confident in. Their defense is better lately, but it's kind of a middle-of-the-pack defense. They've got some weapons. James Conner's been pretty good as a running back, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is young. Head coach, I'll take Kevin O'Connell. I think, to me, it feels like the Cardinals are the definition of the average NFL team. They're probably slightly, they're in playoff position here, kind of fighting with the Seahawks, but that feels like an 8 or a 9 win team that's very competitive, but that you are better than and hosting. So broadly, I just feel like I'm confident the Vikings are the better team and they're playing at home. What is the thing that you are the least confident in or the most nervous about?
So it goes back to your quarterback comment. Kyler's coming off a terrible game, in large part because the Cardinals, that I think it was a 16-6 loss, real nondescript game against the Seahawks, in which he got sacked 5 times. Now, that is a ton for this dude because he can run. He doesn't get sacked a ton, but he did in that game. He threw a pick. I just think he is due for a bounce back, and he's such a joystick player. And I am curious, too, because the Vikings are going to lose some linebacker speed with Ivan Pace not playing. So Kyler Murray's just whole game, both through the air, but probably just importantly with his feet as well. He is, just for context on this, he is averaging a career best 7.9 yards per carry with 4, and he has thrown 12 touchdowns, 4 picks. He's having a nice season. So it worries me that he's coming off a bad game. It worries me that he might have exhausted his Call of Duty love by now, and that he's actually going to be focused on this game, because I think he's the type of quarterback who can present a real problem if he is on that day.
So I'm going to take something that feels confident with the Cardinals being kind of just mediocre at a lot, or not great at a lot, at one thing specific. So, for example, their offense is 16th in points, 15th in yards, but if you look at per drive, they're actually pretty good. So per drive, they are taking the 4th most longest drives of the season. They're having the 4th most plays per drive. They have the 4th most yards per drive. So they sustain long drives, and that probably has a lot to do with Kyler Murray extending things. So my fear here is not being able to get off the field on 3rd downs when you have to. Kyler Murray making things happen with some linebackers out. I worry that these longer sustained drives could be a problem. Conversely, which is kind of interesting here, The Cardinals defense on the flip side of this is 32nd in time allowed, 32nd in plays, 31st in yards. So like they also allow a lot of long sustained drives. But I'm worried that Kyler Murray can just extend plays when the Vikings need to get off the field.
Yeah, he also, just to give him credit too, he is 4th in QBR this season behind Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, ahead of Patrick Mahomes. This is the best season in a lot of statistical categories of Kyler Murray's career, so credit to him. He rarely throws interceptions too. And at one point this season, he went like a full month between sacks. He just, he is difficult. This is going to be less about can you sack him and more about can you control him? Can you prevent him from kind of doing what he wants to do? I would say the thing I'm most nervous about are just a couple key Vikings injuries. We mentioned Ivan Pace, who's going to be out for at least a month. He's been placed on injured reserve. Don't sleep on Cam Robinson having a foot re-aggravation too. It sounds like he's going to try and play through it, but there's a good chance the Vikings are either playing with a severely banged up left tackle or they're down to their third string left tackle if Cam Robinson can't go. And, even though the Cardinals haven't necessarily been the biggest pressure defense, in fact, I believe the Cardinals are like bottom 10 in defensive pressure. The Vikings pretty quickly can be down to a third string left tackle, and, Dalton Reisner has not fully clicked at right guard yet. So just these injuries are something to watch.
Yes.
Is anyone playing for or coaching for their job on either team this weekend?
Cardinal-wise, I don't know what the depth chart competitions might still be, so I don't think so from their end. From the Vikings end, I guess it's, in fairness, I think that the right guard thing, I don't know that it is settled completely yet. Like if Reisner struggles, could he be replaced by Ingram? Yeah, I guess so. So, but I mean, is there anybody who's like really up against it going into this game? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals are probably very happy with what's happening this season, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
I don't know how many people thought. I think when it came down to who's going to compete for that division title, Niners were number one, Rams were probably right in there.
Is still a muddled, jumbled mess.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, playoff odds via the New York Times /Athletic. The Vikings right now have a 98% chance to make the playoffs, a 15% chance to win the division, and a 5% chance to win the whole thing. How do those odds sound? 98% playoffs, 15% division, and 5%
very fair.
Whole bleeping thing.
Right on, spot on.
Yeah, I'll sort by Super Bowl winning here just for so Lions are 20%, Chiefs are 17%, Bills 13%, Eagles 13%, Ravens 7%. So the Vikings have the 6th best percentage chance to win the Super Bowl.
Phillies, how much?
13%.
Okay. Might be a little high for me as far as winning the
Philly's
Super Bowl.
got it rocking,
but they've
man.
been
Their offensive line.
They've been red hot. Yes, they've been red hot.
Yeah, they're kind of just back. Like their offensive line is ridiculous. They've got weapons all over the place. That defensive front too. So unless Sirianni takes the wheel and drives it into a ditch, then it's a pretty tough team. That'd be a tough if the Vikings had to go on the road against Philly in the playoffs.
Not ideal.
KC's the one that really throws me because you can't disrespect them based on one position alone, but they sure don't necessarily consistently, as we talked on Tuesday, they don't necessarily pass the eye test right now. But it might mean
Chiefs,
nothing.
you said?
Yeah, KC. That's a very high, to me, that's a very high percentage for a 10-1 team that doesn't, when you watch them, feel like a 10-1 team, except for one guy, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, part of it is if the Chiefs get the number 1 seed, then your percentage to win the Super Bowl is much higher because you don't have to play a game. You get to just sit out.
Yep.
Okay, what are the Sharps saying about Cardinals Vikings via the Action Network? The Cardinals' rushing attack was completely stymied last week by the Seahawks' surging defense. It's been a uniquely physically imposing ground game all year, but this could be another difficult matchup against the Vikings, who rank 2nd in run defense this season, DVOA. The onus will likely fall on Kyler Murray to make magic happen on the road against the Vikings, who rank first in blitz rate and second in pressure rate. Do you think this is a game where maybe Brian Flores doesn't blitz?
Yeah, this is tough. I think even with pace out, it's got to be. You just put like a spy. This is where the tacticalness of like Jeremiah Searles and Boone would
probably
definitely
do
I'd
spy
lean on
Kyler.
Here. But yeah, I think
Well, you for sure spy. You spy Kyler,
him, but so here's my question though. So Pace has been so effective against the run, like that's his specialty. How much does his absence now impact you?
Yeah,
because it's going to impact you.
Yeah, this is a case where like Metellus and or Cashman are going to probably have to keep an eye on Kyler Murray for the duration. Just out of curiosity here, against the blitz, Kyler Murray, according to Pro Football Focus, just PFF grade, he's 25th in PFF grade against the blitz. So it has not been. He has not quite fully figured out how to dissect the blitz as a passer, anyways.
But you do
as
have
a
to
runner,
pick your. But you do have to pick your spots too, because if your blitz results in over pursuit,
then it's
now he's got a lot of
40-yard
green in front of him.
The Vikings, meanwhile, will run into a rapidly improving Cardinals defense. Since Week 7, Arizona ranks top 10 in EPA per play and success rate allowed defensively. On the season, the Cardinals are bottom 10th in pressure rate. Vikings are second in defensive pressure rate. So we'll see if that becomes a thing. Cardinals and Vikings public betting percentages. So Vikings are a 3.5-point favorite in this game. 67% of the bets are on the Vikings. 83% of the money is on the Vikings to cover the 3.5 in this game.
Okay.
So we'll get to our official picks here in just a moment. Let's talk about these Pepsi Justin Jefferson souvenir cups. These glorious, glorious cups. Look at that face.
You talk
Justin
about
Jefferson.
good teeth.
Yeah, he does have really nice teeth
nice
there.
Teeth.
This cup is available inside local Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh locations. There's a QR code on the side, too, where you can enter to win Victor's Ride, which is just a glorious Vikings-themed Polaris ATV. Pepsi's also giving away a solo pizza stove, Vikings autograph merchandise. So go get your Justin Jefferson souvenir cups, courtesy of Pepsi, inside local Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh locations around the Twin Cities. And keep sending me photos of those cups on Twitter/X at Phil Mackey. And enjoy whatever Pepsi beverage you're putting in there too. Also, Federated Insurance. It's like having a great offensive line protecting your business. Federated makes sure that you have a game plan in place to stay focused on safety, preventing claims, and risk management. You can let the team at Federated give you that peace of mind as a business owner so you can focus on growing your business. Federated has a history that goes back to 1904. They work with businesses inside the state of Minnesota and in the other 49 states. You can find out more at federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours. Okay, Vikings 3.5-point favorites. So far, picking straight up, all of us are 8-3. Picking against the spread, Declan is 7-5. I am 6-5. Judd is 5-6.
I've been struggling.
All time bad beat. Yes, last week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that 3.5.
Yep.
I threaded that needle very nicely. Needed an onside kick recovery.
Yeah,
needed a bunch of stuff.
That was a bunch of crap.
So, who wins and by how many? Vikings are 3.5-point favorites.
Can I go now?
Yes.
Yes.
I just want to make sure I didn't jump the gun. Some
It's not that
mythical,
hard. We
some
make the
mythical
picks.
wall
now the
that
play
exists.
clock ran out. Actually, I think you
About
have a delay a game because
about this. I
you
do
didn't
want to
like
make
your
sure.
ball.
No, you know what?
You're
I'm
lashing out over this.
I'm banging a timeout for this. I'm going to pick the Vikings, and I am going to pick the Vikings to cover in their first game home in quite a while.
Okay.
Thought you might try and thread that needle.
I'm done
again.
trying to thread the needle. I just need to I feel pretty down about what occurred on Sunday in Chicago. Like that was a bunch of crap.
Yeah. Well, you tried to thread against Tennessee.
I know.
Right?
I know. And I got burned by that. So I'm just done threading.
Yeah.
I'm done knitting. It's just time to take a stab at the picks.
Okay.
Bang.
I will say I have the Vikings winning this game. 4 points does feel comfortable, but I like Kyler Murray, and I think this will be closer than we think. I like the Vikings to win this game, but I do not have the Vikings covering the 3.5.
Oh,
I do not.
Declan's threading the needle.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Thread.
thread.
Enjoy your knitting class, Declan.
I will. I will.
Well, I threaded it last week, and this kind of feels like a spot where maybe I should join Declan and try and thread it again. But no,
Come on, guys.
I've got the Vikings jumping out to a nice early lead and showing the Cardinals who's boss. I don't know, maybe it gets close toward the end, like a lot of Vikings games have. But I'll take the Vikings to win. I'll take them to win by 8 to 10 points. So give me a couple defenses making it hard on each other. Give me 24 to 16-ish, something like that.
Very plausible.
Defense has to stop Kyler from scoring a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So there we go. Let us know in the YouTube comments section, who do you got, by how many, and click that subscribe button and that like button too.
Johnny Munt screwed me last week. If you hadn't touched that damn ball.
Well, you'll be happy when he scores a touchdown off of a sneaky play action inside the deep red zone this week.
Thanks.
He'll get back in your good graces. So, all right, Purple Daily. Tomorrow, Vikings Vent Line right after the game is over. We just want the Vikings to win the Super Bowl before we die.